I gotta do homework. But I also wanted to stream. I guess I'll be reading to you somewhat. Hopefully it's not too bad. Because yeah. I think I suck at reading out loud. But maybe that will make me better. I'll learn to read out loud. Be a better script reader. I'll be an actor, as they say. You know what they say. If you're an actor, you're a whore. And I'm certainly a whore. The Black Cat by Edgar Allen Poe. Published 1845. For the most wild, yet most homely narrative which I am about to pen, I neither expect nor solicit belief. Mad indeed would I be to expect it, in a case where my very senses reject their own evidence. Fuck, I almost fucked up again. Whew. I'm a good reader right here. Yet mad I am not. // I don't actually know what that slash is called. And very surely do I not dream, but tomorrow I die, and today I would unburthen. Unburthen? Yeah, unburthen. Weird. And today I would unburthen my soul. My immediate purpose is to place before the world pain plainly suck. Suck. Succulently. What the fuck is this? Let's look this up. Search. Succinctly, in a brief and clearly expressed manner. Okay. Nice. Anyways, let's restart that. My immediate purpose is to place before the world plainly. Goddamn, I can't read. Succinctly. Fuck, I should have listened to that word. I don't know what it is. Succinctly and without comment. You can comment on these nuts. Fuck you, Edgar Allan Poe. Bitch ass motherfucker. Imagine ever. I'm tired. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm just imagine me being a fucking English teacher and I'm reading this to like kids. I'm just like, and without comment, yeah, comment on these nuts, Edgar Allan Poe. God, I love it. Oh, reading is fun. I know he's gonna come back from the grave and bounce on it. These events have terrified, have tortured, have destroyed me, yet I will not attempt to expound them. To me, they have presented little but horror. To many, they will seem less terrible than barracudas. Barracudas. What is a barracuda? Let's look it up. What is it, chat? Barracudas. What the fuck is a barracuda? A style of art, music, and architect. Okay, it's a style. Okay, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Fucking bitch ass architect. Ow. I'm reading here. I'm trying not. Ow, I don't need the brain damage. I don't need that brain damage. I already got brain damage. Clearly, you can see. Ready. Yeah, I haven't even fucking finished the first paragraph. Is this a paragraph? I don't think it's really a paragraph. That's quite long. Isn't paragraphs like 3 to 5 cents? I don't know. Section. It's a section. Anyways, hereafter perhaps some intellect may be found, not with me though, which will reduce my phantasm. I also have the tism, but autism, to the commonplace. Some intellect with more calm, more logical, and far less excitable than my own, which one will perceive in these circumstances, I detail with awe, nothing more than an ordinary succession of very natural causes and effects. You know what I just realized? I totally could have just like leaned back in my chair and read my book if I would have hooked up my fucking wireless mic, but they might also not be charged. So yeah, maybe next time I'll do better. Next time I'll do better. I'll get a rocking chair. Yeah, I'll get a rocking chair. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Well, I'll make it right. I'll make it right. I'll be like an old motherfucker telling a story. You'll be like, oh, back in my day, they used to bounce on it. Crazy style. Alright, anyways. From my infancy, I was noted for the docility and humanity of my disposition. My tenderness of heart was even so constipated as to make me the jest of my companions. I was especially fond of animals and was indulged by my parents with a great variety of pets. With these I spent most of my time and never was so happy as when feeding and caressing them. I love caressing my pets. This clarity of character grew with my growth, and in my manhood. Chat, is he talking about his manhood or is he talking about his manhood? Which one is it? Which one is it? I think he's talking about like being a man. I derived from it one of my principal sources, pleasure. Wait. Is he talking about his manhood, like his dick? Is he talking about his cock and balls, chat? Because I didn't think so at first, but he's talking about pleasure in this next fucking part. So you might be talking about his, his beaner. It might be his beaner. It might be the cock and balls. God. I don't know what I'm talking about. To those who have cherished an affection for a faithful and sagacious dog? What the fuck is a sagacious dog? I don't know. Dogs are dogs. Life pleasure, maybe? Maybe. I think he might be talking about his beaner. A beater. I need hardly be at the trouble of explaining the nature or intensity of the gratification thus derivable. There is something in the unselfish and self-sacrificing love of a brute which goes directly to the heart of him who has had frequent occasion to test the paltry friendship and gossamer fidelity of mere man. Ooh, merman. He knew about merman back in the day. Half fish, half man. I do like that wording though, like of mere man. Wait, mere man, or yeah, mere. It just, I feel like that's like a great speech way and being like, you're just a mere man. Now I'm saying mere and I'm thinking of mer, and it's fucking me up. I gotta move on. Next question. I married early. No, I the fuck did not. I'm single and raggedy mingle. Kidding. Kidding. Not kidding about the single part though. But we don't talk about that. I married early and was happy to find my wife in a disposition not congenial with my own. Observing my priority for domestic pets, she lost no opportunity of procuring the use of the most agreeable kind. We had birds, gold, fish, a fine dog, rabbits, a small monkey, and a gato. The latter was a remarkably large and beautiful animal, entirely black and sagacious to an astonishing degree. And speaking of intelligent, oh my god, oh, that was not intelligent. That was a sneeze. I was not speaking of that. Anyways, damn. And speaking of his intelligence, my wife, who at heart was not a little tin-geared, our superstition made frequent allusions to the ancient popular notion which regarded all black cats as witches in disguise. They would not be witches, but they're bitches for sure. Kidding. I had a black cat. She was really cute and really sweet cat. I also have a tattoo of her. Not that she was ever serious upon that point, and I mention the matter at all for no better reason than that it happened just now to be remembered. That seems like foreshadowing. Chat, I think that's foreshadowing right there. I don't know about you, chat, but I think that's a little foreshadowing. Pluto. This was the cat's name. Was my favorite pet and playmate. I, alone, fed him, and he attended me wherever I went about the house. It was even with difficulty that I could prevent him from following me through the streets which I belonged to. Our friendship lasted in this manner for several years, during which my general temperament and character, through the instrumentality of the fiend interference, had, quote, I blush to confess it. Wait. I got a bitter. Fiend impenitence had. I blush to confess it. Experienced a radical alteration for the worse. I grew day by day more moody, more irritable, more regardless of the feeling of others. I suffered myself to use language to my wife. I called her a bitch. I think that's what he's saying. At length, I even offered her personal violence. That's a little much. Yeah, it's fine. Call names, but no violence. No, do not put hands on. Domestic violence is serious. We do not tolerate that. My bets, of course, were made to feel the change in my disposition. I not only neglected, but ill-willed used them for Pluto. However, I still retained sufficient regard to restrain me from maltreating him, as I made no scruple of maltreating the rabbit, the monkey, or even the dog, when by accident or through affection they came in my way. But my disease grew upon me for what disease? It's like alcohol. Wait. But my degree. Wait. What is the? Why is there a period there? They came in my way. But my disease grew upon me. Oh, he's talking about that. Okay. But my disease grew upon me for what a disease is like alcohol. And at length even Pluto, who was now becoming old and consequently somewhat peevish, even Pluto began to experience the effects of my ill temper. I hope you're liking this. I'm too. Other than the abuse. You don't abuse animals. Alright, I'm right here. One night, returning home, much intoxicated from one of my haunts about town, I fancied that the cat avoided my presence. I seized him. When in his fright at my violence, he inflicted a slight wound upon my hand with his teeth. The fury of a demon instantly possessed me. I knew myself no longer. My original soul seemed, at once, to take its flight from my body, and that's amore. Then fiendish, malevolent, gin-nurtured, thrilled every fiber of my frame. I took from my waistcoat pocket a penknife, opened it, grasped the poor beast by the throat, and deliberately cut one of its eyes from the socket. I blush. I burn. I shudder while I pin the damnable atrocity. That's fucked up, man. Me and this dude would fight, and he would get fucked up. Anything you do, don't fuck with animals. Honestly, I fucking really hate people who fuck with animals. Like, it's one thing if you've like learned, if you're like, yeah, when I was like, I did something like fucked up, blah blah, when I was a kid, blah blah. But like, I hear people talk about like doing bad shit to animals nowadays, and like, I'm just like, you're lucky it's not legal to like people, because I would definitely, well, not like eat her as in like in bed, to just go like you know, people put a pillow over your face, except for instead of a pillow it would be my fist. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Like a close pet too. I don't even know. I don't really know how this motherfucker. Well, so far this guy has pretty much. I don't even know what made him like start to become angry. There wasn't really anything that made him start to become angry, right? That's weird. Yeah, that is weird. Because I could understand it if like he was like, I lost my job. Well, I mean, I don't understand it, but like at the same time, it's like at least you have some reason. I don't think there's. Well, definitely alcohol is a play, but I don't think he's talking about like. I think alcohol has just like made it worse. I think he was just talking about he just started getting angry for no reason. What are we reading? Jeffy? What? I am reading what is this called? The Black Cat by Edgar Allen Poe. Yeah, because it's one of my. I have to read this because I'm taking a quiz on like the knowledge. On my knowledge. Oh, fuck, I forgot that video. I need to rewatch that video so I can keep up on it. But yeah, so I was just reading this. Where was I? I think I was right here. All right. When reason returned with the morning, when I had slept off the fumes of the night debauch, I experienced a sentiment half of horror, half of remorse for the crime of which I had been guilty. But it was, at best, a feeble and equivocal feeling, and the soul remained untouched. I again plunged into excess, and soon drowned in wine all memory of the deed. Okay, so maybe it is alcoholism that he's talking about, and being like a mean drunk. See, if you're gonna be a drunk, at least be a fun drunk, you know? When you, like, you're totally fine if you have a problem. It's not a problem if you're a fun drunk. When you're a mean drunk, that's a problem. I think everyone can agree with that. All right. In the meantime, the cat slowly recovered. All right, let me. Thanks for the validation. I know. It's not alcoholism because I'm a fun drunk. If I was a mean drunk, that could be considered alcoholism. But all right, let's read this. Wow. In the meantime, the cat slowly recovered. The socket of the lost eye presented, it is true, in frightful appearance, but he no longer appeared to suffer any pain. He went about the house as usual, but, as might be expected, fled in extreme terror at my approach. I had so much of my old heart left as to be first grieved by the evident dislike on the part of the creature, which had once so loved me. But this feeling soon gave place to irritation, and then came as to my final and irrevocable overthrow The spirit of perverseness. It's the spirit of preference. That's how I get when I don't know a word. That's how I do it. I'm just like, you know. Yeah, I know it is his fault. He did it, fucker. Kill him. I mean, in Minecraft. Wink, wink. In real life. Of this spirit philosophy takes no account, yet I am not more sure that my soul lives than I am the perverse. Oh, that's perverseness. I was like, these big words, I don't know them. I can't have big words in my mouth. Perverseness. Okay. Wait, am I right? Is that perverseness or am I wrong? Perverseness. Yeah, it is. It is. I'm right. Okay. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It's perverseness for now. I don't know. Is one of the primitive impulsive of the human heart. One of the invisible primary faculties or sentiments which give direction to the character of man, who has not 100 times found himself committing a vile or silly action. I'm just doing a silly. I'm a little silly goose. For no other reason than because he knows he should not. Have we not a perpetual inclination in the teeth of our best judgment to violate that which is law, merely because we understand it to be such? The spirit of perverseness, I say, came to my final overthrow. It was this unfathomable longing of the soul to vex itself, to offer violence to its own nature, to do wrong for the wrong's sake only, that urged me to continue and finally to consummate the injury I had inflicted upon the unoffended brute. One morning in cold blood I slipped a noose about its neck and hung it to the limb of a tree, hung it with the tears streaming from my eyes and with the bitterness, remorse at my heart. Hung it because I knew that it had loved me, and because I felt it had given me no reason of offense. Hung it because I knew that in so doing I was committing a sin, a deadly sin that would jeopardize my immortal soul, as to place it, if such a thing were possible, even beyond such the reach of the infinite mercy of the most merciful and most terrible God. Dude, this guy fucking sucks. He hung the fucking cat. I'd fuck him up. I'm just saying. Me and this dude are fucking fighting. He's gonna catch these hands, and then I'm putting the noose around die. His neck. You know? He's gonna go claw. On the night of the day on which this cruel deed was done, I was aroused from sleep by the cry of fire. The curtains of my bed were in flames. The whole house was blazing. It was with great difficulty that my wife, a servant, and myself made our escape from the conflagration. The destruction was complete. My entire worldly wealth was swallowed up and resigned myself thenceforth to despair. He deserved it. Maybe not his wife, but he definitely deserved it. I am above the weakness of seeking to establish a sequence of cause and effect between the disaster and the atrocity, but I am telling a chain of facts and wish not to leave even a possible link imperfect. On the day succeeding the fire, I visited the ruins. The walls, with one exception, had fallen in. The exception was found in a compartment wall, not very thick, which stood about the middle of the house and against which had rested the head of my bed. Rested? I don't know. The plastering had here, in great measure, resisted the action of the fire, a fact which I attributed to it having been recently spread. About this wall a dense crowd was collected, and many persons seemed to be examining a particular portion of it with very minute and eager attention. The words "strange," "singular," and other similar expressions excited my curiosity. I approached and saw, as if given in bas relief upon the white surface, the figure of a gigantic cat. The impression was given with an accuracy truly marvelous. There was a rope about the animal's neck. Oh, okay. He better get fucking haunted by this cat. This cat better fucking make this guy die 9 times or some shit. I don't know. A bird in hell is what I'm thinking. When I first beheld this apparition, or I could scarily regard it. The cat wants blood. I know, I want fucking blood too. For I could scarcely regard it as less. My wonder and my terror were extreme, but at length reflection came to my aid. The cat, I remembered, had been hung in a garden adjacent to the house. Upon the alarm of fire, this garden had been immediately filled by the crowd, by someone of whom the animal must have been cut from the tree and thrown through an open window into my chamber. This had probably been done with the view of arousing me from my sleep. The falling of other walls had compressed the victim of my cruelty into substance of the freshly spread plaster, the lime of which the flames and the ammonia from the carcass had then accomplished the portraiture as I saw it. All right, now he's making up excuses. Although I thus readily accounted to my reason, if not altogether to my coincidence, for the startling fact just detailed, it did not less fail to make a deep impression upon my fancy. For months I could not rid myself of the phantasm. Phantasm? I also have the tism, the autism. I already made that joke too. It's just funny again. It's funnier the second time around. Always is. For months I could not rid myself of the phantasm of the cat, and during this period there came back into my spirit a half sentient that seemed but was not remorse. I went so far as to regret the loss of the animal, and to look about me among the vile haunts which I now habitually frequented, for another pet of the same species, of the somewhat similar appearance, with which to supply its place. One night, as I sat, half stupefied in a den of more than infamy, my attention was suddenly drawn to some black object reposing upon the head of one of the immense hogsheads of gin or of rum, which constituted the chief of furniture of the apartment. I had been looking steadily at the top of this hogshead for some time. I keep fucking shit up, but future killer. Nah, this is a future dead man. That's what he is. I've been looking steadily at the top of this hogshead for some minutes. And what now caused me surprise was the fact that I had not sooner perceived the object. Thereupon I approached it and touched it with my hand. It was a black cat, a very large one, fully as large as Pluto, the closingly resembling him. Oh, closingly? Holy fuck, I cannot read. Closely resembling him in every aspect, but one. Pluto had not a white hair upon any portion of his body, but this cat had a large, although indefinite splotch of white covering nearly the whole region of the breast. Upon my touching him, he immediately arose, purred loudly, rubbed against my hand, and appeared delighted with my notice. This, then, was the very creature of which I was in search of. I had once offered to purchase it of the landlord, but this person made no claim to it, knew nothing of it, had never seen it. I continued my caresses, and when prepared to go home, the animal evinced a disposition to accompany me. I permitted it to do so, occasionally stooping and patting it as I proceeded. When it reached the house, it domesticated itself at once and became immediately a great favorite with my wife. My wife. I don't think he's seeing things. I think he... Wait, is he seeing? This person had no claim to it. Knew nothing of it. And then... I don't think he's seeing things. I think there was actually a black cat. I think the landlord or the barkeep, whoever, was like, yeah, I've not seen that cat around. Yeah. I'm right here. For my own part, I soon found a dislike to it arising within me. This was just the reverse of what I had anticipated. But I know not how or why it was. Its evident fondness for myself rather disgusted and annoyed. By slow degrees, these feelings of disgust and annoyance rose into the bitterness of a hatred. I avoided the creature, a certain sense of shame, and the remembrance of my former deed and cruelty preventing me from physically abusing it. I did not, for some weeks, strike or otherwise finally ill-use it, but gradually, very gradually, I came to look upon it with unutterable loathing, and to flee silently from its odious presence as from the breath of a pestilence. What added no doubt to my hatred of the beast was the discovery on the morning after I brought it home that, like Pluto, it also had been deprived of one of its eyes. This circumstance, however, only endeared it to my wife, who, as I have already said, possessed, in high regard, that humanity of the feeling which had once been distinguishing trait and the source of many of my simplest and purest pleasures. I know, this fucker. I think the cat is like sent a new cat, or this is the same cat. It's like, I'm back from the dead, bitch. I'm gonna fuck you up, bitch. Fuck you, motherfucker. Yeah. Or maybe the cat was like, I'll give you one more try. One more. Here's a new one. You fuck it up, I fuck you up. I showed you what I can do. I can burn your house down. Now let me live under thine house. Where did I leave off? Was it here? Whoa. I think it was here. With my aversion to this cat, however, it particularly for myself seemed to increase. It followed my footsteps with a persistency which it would be difficult to make the reader comprehend. Whenever I sat, it would crouch beneath my chair or spring upon my knees, covering me with its loathsome caresses. If I arose to walk it... Oh, they're missing a comma. If I arose to walk, it would get between my feet and thus nearly throw me down, or fastening its long and sharp claws in my dress, clamber in the manner to my breast. At such times, although I longed to destroy it with a blow, I was yet withheld from so doing, partly by a memory of my former crime, but chiefly, let me confess it at once, by absolute dread of the beast. He's wearing a dress. Also, that's what fucking cats do. Cats fucking, they walk in front of you. They don't give a fuck, Keisha. I don't give a fuck, Keisha. They will walk in between your legs and fucking trip you. And then they make you feel bad. Or like, if you step on them, they make you feel bad for stepping on them. Even though it was their fault. But it definitely is his fault, and he should kill himself. In Minecraft. Wink, wink. But in real life, wink, wink. This dread was Damn. I totally just like stopped to read. I don't even know what the fuck just happened there. This dread was not exactly a dread of physical evil, and yet I should be at a loss otherwise to define it. I am almost ashamed to own. Yes, even in this felon's cell, I am almost ashamed to own that the terror and horror with which the animal inspired me had been heightened by one of the merest chimeras it would be possible to convince. My wife had called my attention more than once to the character of the mark of white hair, of which I have spoken, and which constituted the sole visible difference between the strange beast and the one I had destroyed. The reader will remember that this mark, although large, had been originally very indefinite, but by slow degrees nearly imperceptible, and which for a long time my reason struggled to reject as fanciful, or whatever. I don't know. It had at length assumed a rigorous outline. It basically grew. You can't. Yeah, I'll see what I say after. It was now the representation of an object that I shuddered to name, and for this, above all, I loathed and dreaded it, and would have rid myself of the monster had I dared. It was now, I say, the image of a ghastly thing, of the gallows. Oh, mournful and terrible engine of horror and of crime, of agony and of death. Anyways, why the fuck? This is one thing I hate about like reading like plays and stuff, or like any of like this type of literature, like olden days and stuff, is why the fuck do they make it so like hard to talk, you know? I mean, it's just like simple things. Which was it? Oh yeah. The assumed a rigorous distaste of out distaste distances. I don't know. I know it's old English. That's why it fucking sucks. I don't like this English. And it's probably from Britain, right? Yeah. Fuck England. They like tea. Fuck them. You know. You know. But if they like anyone who likes coffee, they're good in my books. So they better change their tune about coffee. You know. There's a reason. I was there at the Boston Tea Party. I was the one who tossed the tea in the harbor. I am the murderer of tea. Fuck tea. I can accept it if you like both of them. But people who hate on coffee or like don't like coffee, but you like tea, I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's weird. You were jealous of tea? No. If anything, I'd say I would be jealous of the amount of like popularity it has, because it's not even that good. It's not good, but people love it. They're fucking addicted to it. Leave bitches. Yeah, I don't know. It just, tea is not for me. No bueno. I forgot where I'm at on this. Do. I think I'm right here. Yeah, I am. And now was I indeed wretched beyond the wretchedness of mere humanity, and brute beast whose fellow I had contemptuously destroyed, a brute beast to work out for me, for a man fashioned in the image of the high God, for such much of insufferable wow, alas, neither by nor. I don't know what fucking why am I making these weird ass noises? Neither by day nor by night knew I the blessing of the rest and more. During the former, the creature left me no moment alone, and in the latter, I started hourly. From dreams of unutterable fear, to find the hot breath thing upon my face. The balls on my jaw and its vast weight, an incarnate nightmare that I had no power to shake off, incumbent internally upon mine heart. Beneath the pressure of torments such as these, the feeble remnant of the God within me succumbed, and evil thoughts became my sole intimates. The darkest and most evil of thoughts, the moodiest of my usual temper, increased to hatred of all things and all mankind, while from the sudden, frequent, and ungovernable outburst of a fury to which I now blindly abandoned myself, my uncomplying wife, alas, was the most unusual and the most patient of sufferers. I think he fucking broke and started killing. He was definitely going on a murder spree. So I think you were right about calling him a pre-murderer, pre-killer. I don't know. But, where am I? Keep losing my spot. One day she accompanied me upon some household errand into the cellar of the old building which our property. Oh, wait. One day she accompanied me upon some household errand into the cellar of the old building which our poverty compelled us to inhabit. The cat followed me down the steep stairs, and nearly throwing me headlong, spasrated me to madness. Uplifting an axe, and forgetting in my wrath the childish dread which had hitherto stayed my hand, I aimed a blow at the animal which, of course, would have proved instantly fatal had it descended as I wished. But this blow was arrested by the hand of my wife, goaded by the interference into a rage more than demoniacal. I withdrew my arm from her grasp and buried the axe in her brain. She fell dead upon the spot with a groan. This hideous murder accomplished, I set myself forthwith and with entire deliberation to the task of concealing the body. I knew that I could not remove it from the house either by day or by night, without the risk of being observed by the neighbors. Many projects entered my mind. At one period I thought of cutting the corpse in minute fragments and destroying them by fire. At another I resolved to dig a grave for it in the floor of the cellar. Again I deliberated about casting it in the well in the yard, about packing it in a box as if merchandise with the usual arrangement, so getting a porter to take it from the house. Finally, I hit upon what I considered a far better expedient than either of these. I determined to wall it up in the cellar, as the monks of the Middle Ages are recorded to have walled up their victims. Damn. He murdered his wife. That bitch a mother. Doot. For a purpose such as this cellar was well adapted, its walls were loosely constructed and had lately been plastered throughout with a rough plaster, which the dampness of the atmosphere had prevented from hardening. Moreover, in one of the walls was a projection caused by a false chimney or fireplace that had been filled up and made to resemble the rest of the cellar. I had no doubt that I could readily displace the bricks at this point, insert the crepes, and wall the whole up as before, so that no eye could detect anything suspicious. And in this calculation I was not deceived. By means of a crowbar I would easily dislodge the bricks, and having carefully disposed of the body against the inner wall, I propped it in the position while with little trouble I relaid the whole structure as it originally stood. Having procured mortar, sand, and hair with every possible precaution, I prepared a plaster which could not be distinguished from the old, and with this I very carefully went over the new brickwork. When I had finished, I felt satisfied that all was right. The wall did not present the slightest appearance of having been disturbed. The rubbish on the floor was picked up with the minutest care. I looked around triumphantly and said to myself, "Here at last, then my labor has not been in vain." And that's a voice I'm giving him because he's a bitch-ass motherfucker. I hope you like his voice. My next step was... Oh, wait, I gotta move this up. My next step was to... My next step was to look for the beast which had been in the cause of so wretchedness, for I had at length firmly resolved to put it to death. Had I been able to meet up with it at the moment, there could have been no doubt of its fate. But it appeared that the crafty animal had been alarmed at the violence of my previous anger, and forbore to present itself in my present mood. It is impossible to describe or to imagine the deep, blissful sense of relief which the abandoned, detested creature occasioned in my bosom. It did not make its appearance during the night, and thus for one night at least, since it introduced into the house, I soundly and tranquility slept. I slept even with the burden of murder upon my soul. The second and third day passed, and still my tormentor came not. Once again I breathed as a free man. The monster in terror had fled the premise forever. I should behold it no more. My happiness was supreme. The guilt of my dark deed disturbed me but little. Some fewer inquiries have been made, but these have been readily answered. Even a search had been instituted, but of course nothing was to be discovered. I looked upon my future felicity as secured. Upon the 4th day of the assassination, a party of police came with very unexpectedly into the house and proceeded again to make rigorous investigation of the premise. Secure, however, in the indestructibility of my place of concealment, I felt no embarrassment whatever. The officers bade me accompany them in their search. They left no nook or corner unexplored. At length, for the 3rd or 4th time, they descended into the cellar. I quivered not in a muscle. My heart beat calmly as that of one who slumbers in innocence. I walked the cellar from end to end. I folded my arms upon my bosom and roamed easily to and fro. The police were thoroughly satisfied and prepared to depart. The glee at my heart was too strong to be restrained, and I burned to say but one word by way of triumph, and to render doubly sure the assurance of my guiltiness. Gentlemen, I said at last, as the party ascended to the steps. I delight to have aligned your submission. With you on here. And a little more care and courtesy. By the by, gentlemen, this is a very well constructed house. In the rabid desire to say something easily, I scarcely knew what I uttered at all. I may say, an excellent, well-constructed house, these walls. Are you going, gentlemen? These walls are solidly put together. And here, through mere prevalence of bravado, I rapped heavily with a cane which I held in my hand upon the very portion of the brick work behind which stood the corpse of my wife, of the wife of my bosom. But may God shield and deliver me from the fangs of the arch-fiend. No sooner had the reverberations of my blow sunk into silence than I was answered by a voice from within the tomb, by a cry at first muffled and broken like a sobbing of a child, and then quickly swelling into one long, loud and continuous scream, utterly anomalous and inhuman. A howl, a wail, shriek, half of horror and half of triumph, such as might have arisen only out of hell, conjointly from the throats of the damned in their agony, of the demons that exult in the damnation of my own thoughts. It is fully to speak. Swooning, I staggered to the opposite wall. For one instant, the party upon the stairs remained motionless. Through extremity of terror and of awe, in the next, a dozen stout arms were toiling at the wall. It failed bodily. The corpse, already greatly decayed and clotted with gore, stood erect before the eyes of the spectators. Upon its head, with red extended mouth and celerity eye of fire, sat the hideous beast whose craft had seduced me into murder, and whose informant voice had consigned me to the hangman. I had walled the monster up within the tomb. Fucking dumbass. Also, wait. Damn. Cat didn't die. That's surprising. Weird fucking story. I didn't like the part where he killed the cat. At least he got his justice. Just this dick in his mouth. Fucking bitch ass motherfucker. Anyways. So basically, was it actually that he became an alcoholic? I don't know. Wait. That's an in a manner is only user and what you do. Okay, yeah, he was an alcoholic. Intemperance. Okay. So basically, main gist of the story, man has a pretty decent life, grows up with animals, liking animals, got married early. Did his wife get him a cat? No. I don't know, but basically his cat Pluto, he became an alcoholic, started basically abusing his animals other than Pluto, but then eventually got to abusing his cat, and cut its eye out. It survived, and then it being scared of him because of him being a fucking alcoholic and being a mean drunk, it just enraged him more and made him hang the cat, and then his house burnt down, and then fucking new cat with a white spot that basically apparently the white spot turned into a gallows or like not hanging booth, followed him around like affectionate like Pluto was, and made him try to kill the cat one day, and he ended up killing his wife instead. And then cat hid in the wall with his wife, and he would have not gotten caught if he wasn't a bitch and was trying to fucking flex. So the moral of the story is don't kill cats and don't flex on the police about hiding a body, because a cat will fucking snitch on your bitch ass. Pretty much. Yeah. Weird story. I mean, I don't think it was Yeah, I don't think it was told that he was gonna be. Oh wait, no, never mind. It does say the hangman made me into the hangman. Well, the monster up within the tomb. So yeah, um, pretty much said at the end he's gonna hang. That's funny. That's good. All right, that was basically my homework. I had to read this. I'm gonna call it a night because yeah, fun. I hope you enjoyed this. Because maybe I'll do more. Because with my English class, I'll have plenty of reading to do. Maybe some better works of art, something. Yeah, maybe some reading that doesn't involve a guy killing a cat. Hopefully next time, maybe we get some like BL or something, but I don't know. Who knows? But all right, well, maybe you'll see more of this. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Who can say? You are the only one who can say this to be true or not to be true. That is the question. Who will know? But all right. Well, I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.